Hello everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft, and today I've got another process video that is my take on one of the 30 days of sketches. So back in I think March, Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life started a new series of the 30 days of sketches, and there's a Facebook group for that where you can find all 30 of the sketches that she chose. And so I am using day 17. I should have written down who made the sketch, but I did not, but I will link the Facebook group below so you can go in and check that out. I also have the sketch showing right here in the bottom left-hand corner of the page, just to give you an idea of what it looks like and how I am interpreting it. So right now I am doing the first page, the left-hand side of the page, and I like that this sketch gives you photo measurements, or at least some guidance on the size of photos that you might need. And I like that this also has many photos on it. I had many photos of this Girl Scouts event that my daughter and I went to. It was at a local farm, and we got to, or she got to help care for some of the animals, and it was freezing cold that day. But she was a trooper and survived the 2 hours of doing it, even though my toes were frozen by the end of it. Maybe I should rethink doing an outdoor activity in January. That's okay. So I had all these photos and I wanted to put them all together on one spread. I thought about maybe dividing them up, but I just couldn't figure out a good way to do that. And I thought this was going to be the easiest way to just get them all together and make it a 2-page spread and be done with it. I actually had 2 extra photos that I did just end up throwing away. I decided not to use them. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you end up printing more photos than you think you're going to need, and that's okay. Or you could also, you could save them, and I don't know, if you end up doing something else, like a mini album or something, you could save them for that. I know that I hate printing photos and then having to toss them if I don't need to use them. It doesn't happen often. I try to be strategic with the photos that I print, but it does happen sometimes, and so I'm not going to let myself get bothered by it. I am using a Doodlebug Designs page kit that I got from scrapbook.com, and I like it because it has all the pattern papers that you need. It also has that cool gingham ribbon, and you've seen, I went through it in my haul video, which you can find here on the channel. If you're subscribed, you probably already saw it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on all the process videos and other scrapbook videos that I post all month long. It's great to have you here, and I hope that you watch all the way to the end to see how this 2-page layout comes together. So I am pretty much keeping, well, in terms of the photo design, I think the photo design is what definitely stays fairly similar to the original layout. I like that there are those 4x6 photos going on the sides of the pages. So I've got 2 4x6s on a vertical line on the right hand side of that page, and then there's the pattern paper on the, or did I say left hand side? Did I mean right hand side? Anyway, I have the 2 4x6 photos in a vertical on the right-hand side of the page, and then there's the pattern paper with a smaller photo on the left-hand side of the page. And the original sketch, it's hand-drawn. I did kind of feel like I was a little lost at times looking at it, but I really liked the circular elements that were shown. So I wanted to incorporate a couple circles here and there, especially because I really wanted to do the circular photos that you see on the right-hand page. I like that a lot, cutting photos into circles. So I am taking my Creative Memories circle cutter system, or circle cutter tool. I'm not sure what the specific title of it is, and that helps me cut different sizes of circles. I'm using this wood grain pattern here. I cut the circle, then I cut a part of it off because I wanted it to look like the circle was coming out from behind those photos down at the bottom, and then the other half is not going to go to waste. I'm using that up there at the top, and I'm just kind of inking the edges of everything as I think about it, just to have things stand out a little bit more. So I'm using circles, but I'm not using them in the exact same position as shown on the original sketch. But like I said, I just really liked the circles, and because I was going to have circular photos, I felt like I needed to incorporate the circles in other ways as well. So now I'm going to take this hen, chicken, egg pattern paper, because there is a photo of my daughter looking at chickens, and I'm going to take that and cut a smaller circle. What I like about the Creative Memories circle system is that there are 3 different blades, and there's a clear sheet that like tells you which size circle you need, which blade you need. Are you cutting on the outside? Are you cutting on the inside? To make the exact sizes that you need, a 2-inch, a 3-inch, a 3.5-inch, what have you. You do have to like pay attention to whether you have to use the blade on the outside, as I did up above, and then I cut it too big, or on the inside, which is what I wanted. I wanted the smaller size circle. So just pay attention to that. I'm sure they still make it. I've had this for a couple years. It was like a birthday present that my mom got me, because she really enjoyed hers. I also have it in an oval, and I don't really use the ovals that much, but maybe that's something that I should challenge myself to do this year, is to make a layout with ovals and using that system. It's the same kind of cutting system, but I really like it just because I think it's easy to see what size circles that you need. You're not really like guessing. It's a little bit easier than running something through a die cut machine. Like I have a Spellbinders Grand Caliber, but I don't have circle dies that go as big as this Creative Memories system does. I do wish the Creative Memories system went a little bit bigger with the circles, because I usually end up having to like trace a plate or something if I want like a really large circle, but that's another story for another day. So I'm going to add a title here, and the alpha stickers that came with this kit, they're all brown, so they do kind of blend in with that wood grain, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry too much about it. So the title is going to be Morning Chores, and I'm using, since there are 3 different types of alphas, I'm going to use two different alphas to make the title. And of course, I'm doing a lot of like cuts here with this process in the filming, because I don't really think it's necessary. It's already a 16-minute video. So it did this one, it's 2 pages, so it took me a little bit to complete it. And I just didn't feel like you guys needed to see every single little thing. But I like the Doodlebug kits because they do come with the alphas, and they do come with different styles of alphas. So it is fun to kind of mix and match those pieces. And then there was that little Doodlebug Pop, little farmer guy with his hoe. What's it called? I don't even know. I don't farm. But his little tool, and he's kind of like popped up. It's 3D, and then there's a whole sticker sheet. So I've got a barn on there. They're like enamel stickers. I'm also incorporating some of my heart enamel stickers that are also Doodlebug designs, because some of the colors are similar. There are some flowers in there. So I'm having a lot of fun playing around with these embellishments. And like I said, I like that this kit comes with all of it. It was a really good price, and I got it at scrapbook.com, as I said before. The only thing it didn't come with was the solid color cardstock, but I happen to have those green sheets in my stash, and that worked out perfectly, because since I had 2, I'm doing a 2-page layout. It's nice to have the same base as the background for both pages. You don't have to do that. I have seen 2-page layouts, or I have done 2-page layouts where the base of both sides is different, as long as you are somehow like incorporating what's on the left side with what's on the right side in some way. Like, that's all that really matters. But I do tend to like just to have the base of a 2-page layout be the same, and then kind of play around with the pattern papers. So, talking about bringing something from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, I've still got that same pattern paper that was on the left-hand side, and I'm just kind of figuring out how I want to do it. I did go back to look at the sketch as I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do to see how they did it. Because I liked how the circular photos are kind of coming out from behind the 4x6s there. And so as I'm thinking of like what I want to do. Do I want those strips of pattern paper to be horizontal? I was thinking of doing like the white pattern on top of the stripy pattern, and then having the white pattern repeat underneath the stripy pattern. But ultimately, as I'm trying to figure out the best placement for these circular photos, I decided that was not really going to work. So you'll see that all in a second. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make those photos the same size as what's shown on the sketch. But I didn't want to have to hand trace and hand cut out the circle. So like with this system, you can hand trace and you get a different size circle than if you were using the blades, but I didn't want to do that. So I made my the bigger circle a little bit smaller than the measurement recommended, and then I took the smaller circle and made it just a little bit smaller than the measurements recommended, and everything is okay. It doesn't have to be the exact measurements. The measurements are just a guide. Everything with the sketch is just a guide, but I do really like that they provide measurements, so at least you have some kind of idea of what you need and what's going to fit and where it should go. So I like the placement here, but I don't like that the two photos, like the circular photo and the 4x6 photo, kind of like blend in together. So there definitely needs to be something that breaks them up. So what I end up doing is bringing that striped pattern on the, instead of doing horizontal, doing it vertically, and adding more of that gingham ribbon, just like you did on the other side, except I have a smaller piece of that, that stripy pattern. It's very easy to mimic the sides. Something that I learned many years ago from a woman named Tier. She used to have a scrapbook kit club called Classy Coordinates. And something that she taught me was that if you're doing a 2-page layout, you can do the same design on both sides, but rotate the design for the second page. Just something to keep in mind. Especially if you are maybe only working with like a single page sketch, but you want it to be a 2-page sketch, just take the left-hand side design and rotate it for the other side. So I am still going to incorporate the white pattern paper there, not the way I had envisioned, but there's a little bit of like what looks like a strip going behind the circular photos in the original sketch. So I'm like, well, I had already cut this paper strip, so that's what I'm going to do is the strip that goes behind them. And I just need to ink the edges a little bit to make it stand out. And it's going to go like off the page, so I will cut off the excess once I get it down. And I'm using the backside of the chicken paper that I had already cut stuff from. So I'm really trying to like use up all of the stuff that I'll use up all the stuff that I'm using. But like I cut circles from that chicken paper, and I wanted to make sure that I was using up some of the leftovers, and nothing's going to waste here. I'm going to use it all, and I still have stuff left over. So I hopefully will do like another farm activity, and I can use the same collection, but in a different way for those photos as well. So we are getting to the end of this video. I will say that there are close-ups that are going to follow, and as you are watching, if you have any questions about the techniques that I'm using, the products that I'm using, just leave those down in the comments below. Or if you just want to say hi, or if you want to tell me what your favorite farm animal is, or what your favorite food is that comes from a farm animal, like, bacon, you can leave that in the comments below. I do read all the comments, and I do respond to them all because I love this little community that we have created here on YouTube, all the scrappy people, all scrappy and crafty people. So I do really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this whole video and to leave a comment. So speaking of circles, that's the circle that I mistakenly cut too big at the beginning of the layout. I'm just going to bring it over here onto the other side and make like a cool little circle cluster thing with the photos, right? So again, like I said before, I'm trying not to waste pieces. Even if you make a mistake in your scrapbooking, that you cut something wrong, whatever you cut can still be used either on the same layout in a different way, or you can save it for another layout. So nothing is a mistake. I've said it before, there are no mistakes in scrapbooking. Everything is just a creative possibility. So because I had some of the wood grain on the left-hand side, I wanted to bring the wood grain onto the right-hand side. So every pattern, well, except for the white pattern, but every other pattern that's on the left-hand side is going to end up on the right-hand side. So that just really ties things together. I should also note that the small photo circle I popped up on foam dots, just because I wanted to give some dimension to this side of the page. I only had one of those Doodlebug pop-ups in the kit, so because I had something that was popped up on the left-hand side, I thought, well, let's pop up something on the right-hand side. And you can do that with another sticker. You could easily add foam stickers or foam squares or what have you to the back of a sticker, a regular sticker. I just decided to do it with a photo because I just liked the way that that looked, especially with the little cluster of circles that I created there. So now I'm just building out some embellishment clusters with some of the stickers and the enamel stickers. And I'm going to do the journaling underneath that 4x6 photo on the green side where you can see it. You'll notice that I only did one horizontal photo under the circles. The original layout has two, like a 4x6 and I think a 6 by something, like a narrower a photo. I just didn't have I didn't have another photo that was going to fit because the other ones that I had were vertical and I had them printed in a 3x4 size. And so that just wasn't going to work there. And I thought, that's fine. I've got all the photos on here that tell the story and that need to be here. And then that gives me space to do my journaling. So I'm happy with the way that this turned out. And I hope that this was an inspiring layout for you. And that if you were challenged in figuring out how to do 2-page layouts, you consider trying out this sketch. There are a couple of other 2-page layouts in this 30 Days of Sketches series. It is series 9, so if you go to the 30 Days of Sketches Facebook page and you're looking for this, it's in the series 9 album. And all the other series albums are still available, so if you need any sort of sketch inspiration, I highly recommend checking that out. Yeah, that's about it. So like I said before, here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in another video coming up really soon. Have a great day and happy scrapping.